Privatization is most commonly defined as the transfer of companies from the public sector to the private sector, implying that the predominant shares in the ownership of assets on the transfer lies with private shareholders. Nigeria and other African countries are now getting on the bus of massive privatization. Although privatization comes from the external pressure from the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. The World Bank, as a donor to most African countries, has been mounting pressure on African governments to divest. It is on record that the World Bank, in particular, has moved beyond making privatization a precondition for loans, but they are also setting goals and timeline for meeting divestive targets. In comparing the performance of the public and private enterprises across Africa, we found that most public enterprises performed below expectation. One major reason found to be responsible for the low performance is political interference and bureaucratic failure, leading to financial indiscipline. In the case of Nigeria, public enterprises are plagued by political and budgetary constraints, insecurity of tenure of office, bribery, and corruption. Privatization is one of the reforms we have to undertake to integrate our economy into the mainstream of the world economic order. But to do this, Nigeria must create a conducive environment for foreign investment. At the same time, the government must put in place monitoring and regulatory agencies to protect the interests of Nigerian citizens as workers in private companies and as consumers of goods and services of private companies. The Nigerian government must also create a room for free and fair buying of shares in the private companies by average Nigerians, not just for those in the corridor of power. I'm Oluwole Aboyade, and this is Coast to Coast Africa.